Niring also Geshe Thubten Lorig Session01
Good evening. So tonight we're starting a new topic, the topic of awarenesses and knowers.
Dadi kadre lamna da Lorig Session01 nang jogi komja nyamne komja da chik nyamne che da chasan chik lamrim nyamne che ba na tenje ko sam ta ba kharna ko so logi ko ki shi ko ine da nga jo ni su kar che diring Lorig ko share de diring de la kar shi ko rasne lo se di jo diring Lorig ko lobchon che bi kar ha ko lamna so logi mo se di kan chi la ko re yul kan yul lo di yul kan kan yung ko re sa da tene lo di na lo la lo mi jaw ri kan kan yung ko re sa da tene lo chi ge ya ga de kar se da lo de chi ge duwa da tene ke re sa da on du se ne ke ba de de dang zo lo ri chi ge lo chon che ya de de so de se wu ha ko ya re.
So when we engage in Buddhist practice, meditation, then we usually engage in topics such as those found within the Lamrim, or as we've been looking at all year in our weekend classes, and the topic of dependent arising. So whatever practice one is engaging in, whatever Buddhist practice one is engaging in, or topic of meditation, we always talk about the mind. The mind is primary, or of primary importance in Buddhist practice. So now on this topic of awarenesses and knowers, or in Tibetan Lorig, then we come to look at what is meant by mind. So we talk about what the essence of mind is. We talk about the various objects that mind observes or holds, and we talk about which minds are of greater importance or of greater benefit perhaps, and which minds less so. So this is some of what's included in this topic of Lorig, or awarenesses and knowers.
Kedina danganzo liya lo di ma gi kap chi yo marwa da kedina lo di ki ri gorwa chizan lo khara khara ki yo me de nganzo ge shara dona la chungo ma ha ku go marwa chizan dine za de Lorig di ki ma nganzo ge chi ba che yo de lobchang che yo de da so su gi la o lo de ne ki so o de lo di re sha sembe lo ngi gi la di ki so sembe ge da lo kar ki yo be de ha go mo re ha go yo da di and the Yabu Mevich or Daddy Gigdu, Daddy Ma Gavore, the Meva Sura, Yabe Charo, or Didi Yahuresha, di Yagetamo to Sembe, some logic, the Nele Kurwa, the Nenza, the Lorig Daddy, Bene, now to get some Nonalia, Karga, live the custom, that Shewana, they are to don't learn. Gargar Kuan Gardu Yaga Kardu Tadi, she watching a Tagro, she was a Tadu, the Kuan the Gardu, didn't Kuan the Mamma Soyada, and the Yagarus and Dela Yagachada, to she at Yunguro, or Dinashi, the Lorig Pata, Sosunaloya, some of the Yakarku, but the Shawanashi, and the Lodi Gargar Kigu, but they say Wahako to a Chagua.
So this topic that we're looking at in Tibetan Lorig, in English, awarenesses and knowers, as just mentioned, is about the mind and the objects that the mind engages with. So continuously we have minds present. One mind arises after another. It's a continuous mental activity, a process of continuous mental activity. And generally speaking, as we go throughout our daily activities, we don't really pay much attention to our mind. It just continuously is functioning. So we tend not to pay much attention to our mind. But this topic of Lorig is all about our mind. This is a process where we come to know minds such as awarenesses and knowers. And this process means we're coming to know our own mind. So through studying this topic well, coming to a good understanding of this topic, we will then have far greater awareness of what is happening in our mind. We'll have far greater understanding of our own mental processes. And this means, or this then aids our awareness of what minds are manifest, what minds are present at the moment, and whether this is a mind that should be developed, or whether it's a mind that should be abandoned. So if you think of, for example, in our bathrooms, we all have a mirror. We look in that mirror, we see our face, we see the reflection of our face, and if we have a good look at our face, we'll think, oh, maybe this I need to improve. This is what I need to change. So this topic of Lorig serves a similar purpose. It enables us to hold our mirror up to our own minds. As we study this topic of Lorig, we are creating through this knowledge a mirror to hold up to our own mind, to come to know and understand our own mental processes far better. In this way, we come to understand ourselves better. The entire text of Lorig is something that we're not going to look at. We're going to look at just the key sections within Lorig. So the text you have in front of you, this is now translator speaking, the text you have in front of you, Genlo selected the areas he wants to teach, so that you have before you, and it's about half the length of the entire text. As we see on the cover of our text, the author of our text is Purbuchok Ngawang Jampa, and he was a debate partner of the 13th Dalai Lama. So we can see through that by studying this text, we are studying a text that's in the lineage of the Dalai Lamas. And so this is something that's good to bear in mind, because it helps us, it's another way that brings great value to this text, another way that we can value the importance of this text. So the topics I'm going to present from the entire text of Lorig will be the key points. And what I'm going to exclude will be the presentation of opinions or presentations that are of other people other than ourselves. Or to maybe put that more clearly, within the Lorig text, it's divided into the views of others and then our view. And then how our view, and then there's the third section, which our view, our section of debate, which establishes our view as correct. So of those three, I'll be presenting what our view is, not the view that of others, and then the refutation of the view of others, but I'll be presenting, hopefully in a way that's clear, the key points which are our view within this text.
That is what Yoba says your rather carry in a dance Yoba said, she drew say tamche. Dinima, this Yoba the Chasan, Chiqueva in the Dubanile that Tavana, Yudan Eugene said, Nishi, Yudan Eugene. The Eugene love your do that Anzuge Chick Pa Jawachi and Tongue to Henchik, Tongue and Hakuhan, Tongue and Della Eugene said. The nigger that check and this in a how could Tongan reach the Hamoke, Matonga reaching Yungurua, just like the names are Yuda, Eugene Saji, Tonyagi, the Gajele, Java Tongan Jita, Tonyagi, Tonsat Nichi, Pai Yawa Chene, Yuda, Eugene, Nichi Ware.
So in our translation, if you turn to the inside page where there's like a little diagram, then next to the contents page, you'll see at the very top is the word, so this is on the left next to the contents page. There's the word existence. So this is everything that exists, or to use a synonym, it's an established basis. So we're talking about this diagram here. So everything that exists can be divided in many ways. One of the ways is to divide it into objects and object possessors. So existence or established basis can be divided into objects and object possessors. So what's the difference between an object? Well, that should be clear, but an object possessor is that which that which possesses the object, that what perhaps we can say observes the object. So everything that exists can be included in these two.
지당아도 여바 차사 간에시나 율라고와 지나다 니나네 대소 여바디 하고한들라 유전식으로다 하고한들라 유전식으로와.
Another way to express it, all objects are known by something. That which knows the object or understands the object, knows the object, is an object possessor.
안데네 장한조 지단에 아니 지게 다양한 저기 로릭 시아원자의 유세의 지다 율세쇼 와당한 저기 다 시주제 담지 율라고 와다 율세의 간치라고 어레 라면도다 직도한다 알아는 유세의 간치를 뭐 송고래서 베게 새로 지어 와다 데네질 레그리에서 새지로 와다 생일납나래 새랍나 오로지 유세의 데네질 레그리에서 다 유중오데 시고 와다
데네 스르담포 요세나 디 시주프레
시주 차사 율라고 차사 유세다 뭐 간치라고 어레서 지로다
So all established bases are objects. So to understand then what is an object, the way to understand what is meant by object, the way to understand that most clearly is in reliance on a definition. Because a definition will bring out the essence or the entity of what is meant by that which is defined, in this case an object.
세상에 유세의 뭐 간치라고 어레람나 로이르바 자와서라 로기 말서 로기 하고해디라 안에디 율라고 해서 로이르바 자와 로이 하고에디 유르 로이 하고면나 유말해서 그렇다 저 로이 하고에 로이르바 자와서 로이르바 자와서는 로이 하고해디서 하고해기 시디 다 델 율라 유세 되니지라 그래서 그렇다.
At the top of page 1 we have the section objects, and there is the definition. And the definition of an object is that which is known by an awareness. So whatever is known by an awareness is an object. That which is not known by an awareness is not an object.
세상은 저기 류르바 자와서 류하고에게 시디 되네들라 아니 율라거디 유기 챙이세나 뭐스나 당한저 챙이라고 그러다 뭐스나 되네시라고 그러지로와.
So that is then the definition of an object, that is which is known by an awareness. So if you think to yourself, so what is the essence of an object or an entity of the object? It is that which is known by an awareness. So we're using the term here definition, but the purpose of a definition is to identify the essence or the entity of that which is defined, in this case, an object.
다 되네게 아니 유딜라 되네게 르하고에기 시딜라 율레고레 제가 되네 인자 되네 르하 먹거나 디 요말 다가서 지게 르봉게라세다 안지기 디샤초로와 대서 요말와 디 르하고고 말하고 르 통고 하고고 말이다 하 먹어서 매와라다 제가 그 여바 있는 르하고 르도고 다 같이 르도고 제가 르 리바스나 리바라나 똑바서 그거와 제가 르 하고 그거 제가 르 하고는 매바르다.
So that which is known by an awareness, so known here, we can understand as that which is realized by an awareness. So this refers to existence. So everything that exists, existence. What are those things that don't exist, such as the horns of a rabbit? So we all know rabbits, they don't have horns. So this is something that doesn't exist. And this is not known by an awareness.
디 나올라야 지금 로로야 지게 로 나우수 토네다 미도와로치 캐바로치 가르가르 요르세네 다 숨쉬 용으로 다 지다네 숨세데 나유세다 아니 신유르세다 주유르세다 미도와 숨쉬고래 나유 신유 주유르세 숨쉬고래.
Now we come to look at the divisions of objects. So this is the division of objects in general. So this then refers to differing ways that the object can appear. And we have here appearing object, engaged object, and thirdly, determined object.
아주 로려야 다 지금 마 리기로 와다 육지단에 얼마 리기를 이내 당한 주 로려야 지금 나유세도 로르투 로려야 샤르디야 나유세다 뢰파진야세다 대 신유세디 당한 주 야유现在 개발지시고를 나유 신유 주유세다
되네구나. 낭유 당숭유 대고성 되네.
주유로 신유세치와 신유세대야 유 개발와 지시고로다 그 로치 똑같은 제외 돈의 직시용으로 다디 젤리를 달래다.
As we progress down through the page, there will be more detail coming about what is meant by these different ways of, perhaps you can say different ways of relating to an object. So the appearing object, something that appears to the mind. The engaging object is the way the mind engages with the object. So it's an object that the mind engages with as opposed to it appears to the mind. And then the third one we have here is that of a determined object. So not all types of minds have a determined object. Only conceptual consciousnesses have a determined object. So this what has just been mentioned now will be fleshed out as we proceed.
Zandadine di odelia lodi nayuda lodi sunyu ni de donda chibares min kagare mata Gabriela sunyus min dago Gabriela nayus min dago just in donda chibares order.
And then we have two synonyms: appearing object of a particular awareness and a held object of that awareness. In other words, appearing object and held object are synonymous. And then just to say as an aside, there's a little chart at the bottom of the page. That's of course not from the text. That's not from the text, but it's just to help identify some of these many terms or classify them.
지사 donala ngana 주기 베네 미기 셰바디기 셰바디 유지 직 메도로 통배나 지사 메도디 메도 통행기 미기 셰바디기 나유라리 네 소유야리 네 주유야리 숨과 차대로 메도주로
그 신유 승패배 신유 승패
신유 주유라 나유제 송율제 송유유 다데 로디 나유 로디 송유 된다 지바를 하기도 와 지시거래 메도 통배가도 메도를 따디비 갑라 미기 메도 통통게 미기 셰바셔와 디로레 다디니기 로 미기 통하게 미기 셰바디 로체 니기 율가르라네 메도드와 메도를 따디로와 세상디 메도디 미기 셰바디기 나율레 송율레 네 송율다 나니가 차고래 주규야 차 주규 숨가 차로.
Let's then take a simple illustration. So we have an eye consciousness, an eye sense consciousness, which would be the object possessor here. And being an object possessor, it has an object that it possesses. And this would be, for example, a flower. So to this consciousness, which is in this illustration an I-sense consciousness, which is an object possessor. It then has an appearing object, a held object, because those are the two that are synonymous, and an engaged object. So it has these three, of which two are synonyms, appearing and held objects, and then engaged object. So that an I-sense consciousness, an I consciousness, or something that sees a flower, has these three objects, appearing with its synonym of held, as well as engaged objects. No mention here of determined object.
진다 유스 캬바 지금마다 지당 유제 탐제 나유래라고 여바 차산 나유래스 나유인고그래스 그래서네 유제 탐제 나유래스 그러다 시루나 나유인배 캡스고도 여바 차산 나유래스.
Here, something to bear in mind. Everything that exists, everything that's an existent, is an appearing object. Everything that exists is an appearing object.
지싱 차상 사회로다 지싱 신다 자다 지싱 샤조로다 차상 사회에서 그러다 근데 차상 사회 간의 책이 아주 사회디 칼란마 정말 말하네 이만 나눠줄 사회에 나눠줄 가시 사회에 가시 사회 말해 이내 차상 사회에 가르스네 나눠줄 사회 말나 현달라 사회 자디게 나눠줄 사회 말이 근데 갱고로다 현달 심전 사회 사로 신디게 수자그래서는 신나오게 부기 사르고 그래서 되니게 지신 차상 사회에서 근데 그래서는 지금 자한 지어로 와다 차상 근데 사지다 사회 당아서 집에다 마서 디사야 말에 개발시야 요래서 뭐다 지당의 차상 사회에서 전 자한 차상 요로 와다 진짜 나눠서다 사회에 베스는 오 가시 사회 말에 디나신 지제되게 샘진 다당 아니 전에 지게 대술을 찾아서야라면 가셔서야래 말해. 되네 아니 갱구를 찾아서야라면 가셔서야래 가시면 심전 레레라 소소소소야 개발체바네 건설 가셔서야 차로 가셔서야 많이 바차로 먼저 밀리집에네 가셔서야 많이 바차로 어디 나신 지신 자상 지단의 사야래 해서죠. 어디 나지 시주도 담제 나유래 이나야 가시 나주게 낭석 유들라 아니 니차고로다 똑바다 동맥이 셔봤어요. 책으로 제가 가르쳐그러스네 뭐보 간에 차상이네 원숨을 나유래서 원숨이 셔봤어요. 저를 난거를 나유래서 딱바 차상 똑배 나유래. 제가 되네서 여바 차상라 딱바도 뭐보니 예와시네 딩이네 뒤사르와 제가 뭐보 차상 원숨이 나유래. 딱바 차상 똑배 나유래. 제가 되네서 차상 나유 차로도 세워다.
To understand this, let's take a simple illustration. So if we think of all the flora throughout this world, all the plants, all of the flora throughout this world, no matter where it's found, we can say correctly that is food. So you may well say, but I don't need everything that grows in this world or grows in the oceans. I don't need everything like that, and that certainly would be true. But there are things that humans eat, and there are things that humans don't eat. And what humans don't eat, though, that flora is still eaten, such as by kangaroos, or by insects, or a variety of other animals. And to look at it from another perspective, some animals will eat certain types of flora and consider that food, but other types of flora, those animals will not eat. So it's not that one animal needs to eat all types of flora for it to be something that is eaten, for it to be food for some beings. So all flora is eaten by some kind of living being, whether human or animal or one of the classes of animals. So similarly, everything that is an existent or an established base is an appearing object. But it doesn't mean that because something is an existent and therefore an appearing object, that it appears to every type of consciousness. So here, now, let's divide consciousnesses into two classes. It can be divided in many different ways, as we'll see, but we'll divide it for now into two. That which is conceptual, and that is what is non-conceptual. So all appearing objects, all existence, everything that exists is an appearing object to either a conceptual consciousness or a non-conceptual consciousness. Then to understand this a little further, everything that exists, we've just said, is an appearing object, but let's divide everything that exists, established spaces, into two, and the easiest way to divide it into two is impermanent phenomena and permanent phenomena. So everything that exists is either permanent or impermanent. And being an existent, all impermanent phenomena are appearing objects, all permanent phenomena are appearing objects. But they appear to different classes with different categories of consciousness. So appearing objects that are impermanent objects, they appear to conceptual consciousnesses. Permanent objects, they are the appearing objects to non-conceptual consciousnesses. So say the last line again. Impermanent phenomena are the appearing objects to impermanent phenomena are the appearing objects to non-conceptual consciousnesses. Permanent phenomena are the appearing objects to conceptual consciousnesses.
takpa kanyin ba de tokbe na yure se ore chesa dang zo yirup se tamche la ngobo dang takpa ni ma do yo marwa chesa ni ne du ru ore chesa ngobo kanyin ba chesa ngosum ni na yun za ngosum chi ge na yun za ko na yure se ore ta takpa de ge chesa ngosum ni na yun ba de ine ya tokbe na yure se chesa yin za tokbe na yun za ko na yure se chesa takpa chesa na yure su re la tokbe ge na yure se ngobo chesa na yure su re la ngosum ni na yure se So let's
divide awarenesses or consciousness into another category of two, and this will be direct perception and conceptual consciousnesses. So we've just mentioned conceptual consciousnesses, and now we'll also include, we'll put as its partner this time, direct perception. So the appearing object for direct perception is impermanent phenomena. The appearing object for direct perception is impermanent phenomena. And as we heard before, the appearing object to conceptual consciousnesses are permanent phenomena. So here, what we're hearing that is new is that we can divide awarenesses into direct perception and conceptual consciousnesses. And what we heard about conceptual consciousnesses a moment before is the same, that the appearing object to conceptual consciousnesses are permanent phenomena, and the appearing object, but now what's new, the appearing object to direct perception is impermanent phenomena. This illustration I gave a moment ago that all flora is suitable to be eaten and is an object that is food for some kind of being. This isn't found in a text, it's not in the expanded version of this text, this is just my own example. So you know biology very well, so you may well think of a type of flora that is not eaten by any being. I don't know, but I'm using it as an illustration. That's something that I assume that all types of flora are eaten by some kind of being.
ngosumi nangyu labgore ngosumi songyu labgore chesa cheda ngosumi songyu labna ngosumi nangyu labna ngobol labdigore min labtan khaware ma donda ngobore esire.
So just to repeat, so we've just heard that the appearing object for direct perception is impermanent phenomena, and as we heard a few segments before, a synonym for an appearing object is a held object. So therefore, equally, one can say that the held object of direct perception is impermanent phenomena, or whatever phenomenon is impermanent, it is a held object for direct perception, because held object is a synonym for appearing object.
ngobo ganeshine ngosum yu to du ngondu gyuwi tsugi to gore la rwada ngondu gyursene sebu seya to gorwada da nga zoge jalal ma sona nga mi ye ta de sebu shu thong gorwa ya re tabra chi ti ji den thong ba de thong go de sebu rang thong go ma ro deni member che ngobo ganeshine ngosum yu to du ngondu gyuwi tsugi to gore se de 된지다 마태와 그런게 강의만 세부 하고 통과를 해야 돼. 인자 무슨 비 나요셔야 돼.
So we've just said then that the any and every impermanent phenomenon is a appearing or a held object of direct perception. And why is that? Because a direct perceiver realizes the object in a manifest manner. In other words, clearly, because there's no generic image at all, there's no generic image involved. So the direct perception realizes its appearing object or its held object in a manifest manner, which means clearly, because there is no involvement of a generic image.
아니네. 다 똑베 나유세야 다 똑베 송유세야 다 딱바디게 딱바 네가 제 딱바라 똑베 나유랍디고 똑베 송유랍디고 와다 딱바 차산데 똑베 나유레세들.
디 요천데
똑바야.
So what is a generic image? We'll come to this. I know it's a brand new term, it will come. So then permanent phenomena. So permanent phenomena, as we heard before, but now we just repeat with the synonyms. Any and all phenomena that are permanent, they are the appearing objects, or its synonym, a held object for conceptual consciousness.
가도 된다라 ngobo kan yimba dela ngosumi nayo taba kan yimba da tobe nayo se le gore dini zadang jogi lo gane chine yu gane chine lo jigi ha gu yu ba na dela yu re lo diga ha mo na yu mare se jiro yu mare le gore ba dini inza da dondala karishi gore sene anzu yu di yu se di ye dang di ye ba re ye ba mare se di gane ha gu re la na di ha gu gon lo jigi ye ba na di gu ye ba re se 디 하고 건로지 매나고 매말에서 그러다 진짜 유세 요래 요 말에서 해야 돼. 가르네 간스 하고 그러려나 디 하고 건로지 요 매다고 그래서 디 하고 건로지 요나 그 요 말에 디 하고 건로지 매나 매말에서
Det pama lapken det målange det du fiskos det jo kan det jobba mepa agona det tänker du lapken det lapken. So now just to go back to our definition. What is the definition of an object? That which is known by an awareness. So what we can understand from this is, if we wonder, how do we know whether something exists or not? Something exists if it is known. If it's not known, it doesn't exist. It's a non-existent.
lo se dia yu da yu ba se di garil de gu du lamna danda la nga zo kisin tian de chi sa sro a che sa tian de se chi chi le tuen de chuo ma da ga la ma de ba ko ro ngwen de zhu de ji yo ma res le go ro de kisin nga de di go she ro a che sa di na ji yu se di ko lo chi le tuen ne ye de ma do lo chi gil ma de ba che and Lola Matioba, Sujiko, Hamowaja, Koran Udivage, Yorves, and the Minduada.
Did the Mindu kick there?
Lo say, you said, you say, Yoda May said, Logilo, Koran Hago, Logilo, Duane, Dune, Koyoba Shawuris. Reward, Kohago, Logimena, Koyora Laya Marva. Jisa, Yoba said, Galaya, Lola Matioba, Koran Mune, Juba de Mevarida. Dina, kissing Tender Sheva Chibare. Just you say, your mother said, Lolpa Dune, Yoba Shawore. How's it called? Yoba, how go on?
The Tisco Thompson Casingona, I thought the Netsu down also Matumpa.
No, the Tender said, Kissing my dear Shawach. Tender said, Chichilla Dune to Guramato, Kala, Matio Pate Rang when you do said your mother's in Sherwa, or Dina Shin Chibarech that you said, Yoba said, Chile Dune, Sulu Dune, yours and Eugene Kohagon, Lodilla Dune, Yobarimato, Lodilla Matuna, Matiobana, Koyohayo Maris. She's a Lola Dune young to answer.
So this, to understand this, we can draw a comparison, perhaps a comparison with what you heard many times in the teachings we've just finished on dependence arising, where we heard that everything that exists dependently. Everything that exists in dependence on something. There is nothing that exists independently. There's nothing that exists independently. Everything exists dependent on something, dependent one thing on another. So those of you who came to the dependence arising teachings, you heard this many times. So this is similar here. If you want to know whether something exists or not, it depends on whether it is known by an awareness. And that then is the meaning of our definition here.
Usually, it's not you that usually Chichilla Tune to do Amato, Matiopa, Rang when you do Merida.
And this is actually a very good example then of this of dependence arising, of one thing being dependent on another, because this is an illustration of mutual dependency, because an object is dependent on being known by an awareness. And likewise, an awareness is dependent on having an object. So for there to be an object, it needs to be known by an awareness. And likewise, for there to be an awareness, it needs to know an object. So here, this is an illustration of mutual dependency, of one thing being dependent on another. The object is dependent on an awareness knowing it, and likewise, an awareness is dependent on having an object that it knows.
Dini za dang han zu gi lo se de dang han zu ji ge bene han zu gi bene en di sung ro bene han zu gi ji lam rim do ne xi xie wei na dang han zu gi ji ge ji wa chi me ge ji ge ka so re han zu de gi du ye ge de gi Ningazu Dewa Gogudu Sembi Samno Siligurwada, the Lo Chagrua, Digi Dunyargi Dumbati. Cesa Digi Dunyargi Dumbati, Lo Chad, Di Yudi Garasene Digi Reda. Cesa Digi Dewa and Kibodi Yudishe, Azuki Deva Lodi, Dunyargi Dumbati Lo Chara, Cesa Lo, Azu Lo She, Ko Yudi Garelana, Digi Che, Cesanco Yudi. Di Lodi Dang Zuki Digi to Dunir Dumbadi, Ya Mazuki Shuk Chair Gomgure, Sashi, and Di Nubadi Chair, Nubagaze Chawe in air, Sosogila, and a Chiki Church, Dunir Dumba Shuk Chair to Guri, Gawasago, setting out to the Lamrim Nalati Sungor, which is a Lorig or Shigore. The names are the Dewa Dunir Dumba de Loreda, Di Udigaras and Dewa Direda, Dewa and Kibudi Chagoro.
So if this is all sounding a little bit alien, then let me bring it place it in a context that you're much more familiar with. So if you think of a general Lamrim talk or presentation, you'll hear that we talk about that all beings want happiness and want to be freed of suffering. So this wish for happiness and lasting, stable happiness, this happiness that one wishes for, that is the object. One wishes for what? For an object which is happiness. And this wishing for, or this aspiration for happiness, this is a mind. That's the object possessor. And through meditation, as one develops this mind that's striving to attain lasting, stable happiness, one is developing the strength of the awareness, or the object possessor, this awareness. So here we have an object, happiness, and it's being held or known by an awareness which is a mind aspiring for happiness. So this is how we would utilize Lorig in the context of the lamrim.
Lorig Lorig Chagorwa. Chizan Digi Yudi Garas no Korea Gendida, Korea Gendide. Chizan Deniki Gomgola, Deniki Koala Gen Tag Lodi, Nubacher Tangores or Nubushu Church Tangorella. Chizan Koala Gen Lodi, Nuba Church and Tabain, and Mazule, Digi Duviala, Pando Yungures, said the Koala Tayala, Tanya Dugo Resigorwada.
And then, similarly, in the Lamrim teachings, we hear that we need to come to know the faults of samsara, we need to meditate well on the faults of samsara so as to develop the wish to attain liberation from the sufferings of samsara. So here, when one is meditating on the faults of samsara, what is the object? Faults of samsara. And the mind that sees the faults or realizes the faults of samsara, that is the object possessor, the awareness, that is meditating on the object, faults of samsara. And as one develops the strength of this mind, the strength of this mind, or the conviction of this mind, that is realizing the object, the faults of samsara, then the wish for liberation, a second mind, grows ever stronger.
세상 안쪽에 대기에 삼는 대기 되바 대기 고구도 선별 로디체 디유디 대기디체 다 되니게 고구도 선별 로디 누바차 다는 아주 최간의 차기래 람나 다디 최를 간에서 조구리 안아들야 안지 냠는 제라 간에서 판도구래 람나 다직 저거로 실리기로 와다
As one cultivates this mind, the first one we heard about now, that mind that aspires for its object of happiness. So the mind that aspires for happiness. As we cultivate this and it grows ever stronger within us, then one may wonder, well, what's the benefit of generating and cultivating the strength of such a mind?
대기디샤 디도니 둠바데까지 체베나 디짱짱 곰비게 고 개위기 셈귤레기 투야게 갖고 채고래 디직부게 디라 코로나 직부 곰디 바삼게 지산 디 나주기 최소 줘야야 가르고고르스네 개와 치마지 케링고고래 개와 치마 케말레 마이나 아니 최 주야게 갈래 갖고 채고래 디기 띵나주게다 ngazo nyamling chidi kapla degi doni gi dumba de shukchar ta da an korwi gi dunga samda de shukchen bo tang gu res di za nyamling chi di chegol sungol wa dunga ga je samda bene tamda bene di dele tene ngazo gi gewi gi nyamling chi ala shukchar do de kan stogre labna kyawang a che ke mele bene dunga ga je samda bene phaji chhu tu ma le do ya kha go de Kiwangati Kimelembaina and Kimelemba, Kiwangachi Samatawaina, Digi Gazi Dubine, and Digi Church to Tuya Kawachaware.
If one just cultivates the awareness that is the wish for the object of happiness, if one just cultivates that mind alone, it's not going to come about the achieving of the result of lasting, stable happiness. One requires further qualities. One requires that there is a need to accept reincarnation. One needs to accept the continuity of life, that there are future lives. Otherwise, without accepting reincarnation, it's actually very difficult to attain realizations of the Dharma. Because in order to achieve lasting, stable happiness, developing the awareness or the mind that wishes for happiness alone will not bring that about. One also needs to cultivate the mind that realizes the sufferings of cyclic existence. One needs to develop a strong understanding of the suffering nature of samsara. And this is very difficult to bring about if one doesn't accept reincarnation. So therefore, in order to generate a state of lasting happiness, one needs to also accept reincarnation.
And in just say delia and me mangochi and it's a tiki duce, di dandalia, Kalambo capture, and your Ramon say Yungura, Sugora, and said delia Dunga, some the Dungi, the Mitubaji Dunga did that travel, do Gama de la Tower, some Jayatic, your Ramon Chagora, Dineza, and Digi did some Yipingo. That means that you are doing you Dumba down, Dumba di Delet in the Chus Dragi, Yamlin Yoyada. And Dunga sometimes the delet in the chain, Yamno della Roba Caracores and Ding Lonibody and how to chain Yamlin Chela, Pando Che, the Pando Canis Yoga Labna, the Lo Shandachi, Rocco, Lo Shandachi, Dio, Lo Shandala Caragos, Kiwangama, Kiwachima sometimes, Kukura, Kiwachima, Kiwangachi Kalinje, Kiwachima sometimes, Dankukura, Kiwachima sometimes, sometimes Dinibody, and then Hazuki. And Kevi Yamlin Chela, Drox to Gore. Kiwachima some matabana, that thing to Dunga Tau to Semper Samlochina, Digi Yungu to Semper Samlonidi, Gewa Dubia drop to go, Madame Hazuki, in the Ganga Mango, Nyota Mango Sugore. Then Kiwachima some taban, Digi Kiwachima sometimes, some delatine, Digi shuking it one, as the Deva Dunya Tumba, some Lotidang, and Dunga Ganga Toyag, Lonibody, and then to give each other to Yagi, Droyagia, Sutu.
So to actually bring about the attainment of lasting, stable happiness, a state of liberation, then to merely develop even a very powerful wish for happiness, that will not bring it about. It needs a companion mind, a mind that reflects on the object of the sufferings of samsara and comes to understand this well. But even these two realizations on their own will not bring about a state of lasting, stable happiness. These two minds need the assistance of a third mind, and this is the mind that understands and accepts past and future lives, accepts reincarnation. And this is because in order to achieve a state of liberation from suffering, a state of lasting, stable happiness, one needs to persevere through many difficulties to develop a mind of such strength, a mind that transcends suffering, a mind that attains a state of the desired, lasting, stable happiness, requires great strength, and therefore this aspiration for lasting, stable happiness also needs the assistance of the mind that believes in reincarnation. Because when these three come together, the aspiration for lasting, stable happiness, the clear understanding of the suffering nature of cyclic existence, and that there are future lives or lives still to come, then one has the sufficient strength of mind to strive for liberation.
That Oda Chima killing Bazadana, Chima, that you lead in Meva China, Jamakiwa Chima Chingo, which is not Chima de Dikiku, that they were Chima Dikiku, did some Chim, the Chima Dikiku to Sambi, Diki Tubaki. That the Kunga Yobanashi, Chima Duma to get Tahu Sempiki, Chimigi, Duma than Dayaki, Mahobana, Duma Mayaka, sometime I do. Just like that, Chimagi, Chima Mahobana, Diki Yohagi. 탑람 가르고 고래 세디 안델이야 안 지가 저기 녀제 도미야 차고 녀제 수름 소야 디바 링아 유스미 녀바 녀제 마지기메 스미 수름 소야디 디차고 제가 개와치마 디기 두야 된다라 디고고 된자 디개와치마 디기 간스 두고 그래라나 된 다들 아주 뉴변저 가자 사베나 디기 개와치마 디기 두고 말해 제가 개와치마 디기 두비에 가르고 그랬으나 아니 녀제 덤비 수름 송고 그래서 아니 된 냠는지야데 수름 송고 그래서야다 내 개와치마게 둥알 타야디 니지dembe 수름 소야다 개와치마 마주기 디기 용야디 내 류대와다 셈기고 용야다 안지 튕게 야고 용야라 만도 진배 냠는다 수배 냠는 제고서 디 냠는 지다 시요도 제가 개와치메기 고 삼다여도 되니 두스전에 송돔디게 레어도 되니 다디 되기 등여기 둠바데다 같이 숙체 여바이네 안 둥하다 자도게 삼로니 같이 숙체 여바이네 되니 세디게 게주르야야 안 누가셔단 거래
The reason that one needs to have this understanding and acceptance of reincarnation for one to be able to actually attain the desired goal of lasting, stable happiness that isn't interrupted by even a moment of suffering, is because understanding that this mere life will soon be followed by another life, that this process of uncontrolled rebirth in cyclic existence just continues from life after life after life, that there is a body that will be taken after this body ceases. With this clear understanding, it helps in dependence on other meditations to turn away from grasping for and striving primarily for the happiness of this life. So this innate wish we all have to experience only happiness right now is primarily focused on, I want to be happy now, and we think, and our activities therefore are motivated to achieve happiness in this mere life. But if we have a clear understanding of this continuous process of reincarnation, that we start to value this long stream of potential future lives more than this life. And therefore, we start to develop our perspective, will these actions I'm engaging in now, physical, verbal, mental activities, bring about the desired happiness over a long period of time, not just this one mere life. And similarly, in terms of suffering, none of us wants to suffer. None of us wants to experience a moment of pain or misery. But if we continue just to strive to avoid suffering in this life, that is not going to help us much in our future lives. Rather, if we develop a broader perspective, we will then look at our physical, verbal, and mental activities and see it in the context of what results will come from this in my future lives. And that will help guide us to avoid even subtle negativities. So through thinking like this, our perspective changes, and we see that it's imperative that we live an ethical life, we develop an ethical mind, because that is the primary cause for continued good rebirth. And moreover, to ensure that in our future lives we have good conditions, good material conditions, we need to cultivate the mind of generosity, as well as cultivate the mind of patience. So these lead to the cultivation of the causes to have good rebirths to aid our spiritual progression in future lives. And that only comes about in a powerful way. The cultivation of these causes only comes about in a powerful way if one accepts future lives. So through accepting future lives, it leads to a great strength of mind. It can be called a courageous mind. Courageous in the sense of turning away from the accumulation of causes for suffering and turning towards the accumulation of causes for happiness. And this way, through seeing this stream of lives before one develops a powerful aspiration for liberation. And this means all our activities in this life are dedicated to accumulating virtue that will aid our spiritual progression throughout our stream of lives. So a great strength of mind, a courageous mind, comes from thinking like this.
Digi dönüyor dümba diyor yüdü dönüyor dümba de lodi loche ko yüdü asen digi diche cezan di lodi digi dönüyor dümba digi yüdü digi rüveye döndala rüveye de dönüyor dümba de şukşkaze çerçana digi rüveye ya ane rüveye döndala dönüyor dümba kaze şukçer robene gevi çol roya paya çıktan ane migive çol roya niyoya dünya doğa 지난 아주게 개와 치마게 섬마다 바이나 개와 치마기네 섬마다면 세디기야 섬다바이나 디기 돈여가지 슉체외나 디기 소수기 디기 두비에 돈달이야 안지 미고다야다 안지 야 고소리존 치야다 근데 아마를 리치리고 봐 진짜 동화 자야게 동화 자도게 섬마디야 개와 치마 섬마다 뒤에 매와 있나 세디기야 동화도 자도게 섬디기야 섬다바이나 니 돈에 소수 동화게 자야 돈달라 미 소소리야 강아지 핸디게 봐 매봐서야다 지금 아자야다 딩요다 차상 디차고 봐 진짜 세디기 섬데데 개와 치마 섬메나 디기 돈이 dum바다 동화다 자도게 소수 동화다 자도게 섬니 디기 세델이야 랑신니가를 내비게 자와마고 숙침불에 둬야 제거를 지나다 데니게 로니보디 나주게 델님도 로벌로 샨다치기 가르고 그러는 깨와 치마 되니게 깨와 치마 삼다별로 주여봐나 니기 깨와 치마게다 로델 때네 오다 깨와 치마기 되기 고도 깨와 치마라 강아디게 세디 강한 하신 깨와 치마요나데 지금도 깨와 치매데 강아데 사고 선비 깨와 치마 삼다여도 디세타야를 아주 마잡제 사투야요 말에 아니 규변지 사야서 되입니다. 답시 가르도람 삼노다제 아니 델야 아니 저기 라미게 상이 좀내 되게 최 소야게 델야 아니 냠는 지금 수름 송고를 해야 서버 공고를 해야 진배 냠는 되는 냠는 제와 나요 소와 델라 되는 아주 어디 대개와 치마기 디기려야다 동화세계 돈달에 델야 비즈 제고래 델라 비즈 제바이나 안체 델이네 저기 라신니가 펜바다 개와 치마를 펜바 차고 제가 되네자 되네게 삼다위 돈에 다 세디기 가데 되게 돈여기 dum바데까지 슉체여 봐지다 동화다 자두게 삼론이데까지 슉체여 봐이나 디 최체 냠는 제알라 판도 슉체 용거래 제 당중에 로세디게 로상안디게 고 야가철 비주 따야되나 누가철 비주 따야지 델레 로 샨다치래 슉체무 뛰고도 와다가잖아
we all have as an object the wish for happiness, so the happiness as an object, and then as an awareness, the wish for that. This is something that all beings have. But the stronger this awareness is, the wish to achieve a state of happiness, the more one will strive to achieve it, to accumulate the causes that lead to that result. And similarly, we all have a wish and awareness to be freed of suffering. So that's that with object, freed of suffering. And the stronger this wish to be freed of suffering, then the less non-virtue we are going to engage in. We're much more likely to avoid engaging in non-virtue. And these two minds, if they have as a companion not just the mere belief in future lives, but an active awareness, mental presence, awareness in the sense of being aware of something, being aware of our future lives. If we have that sense of being aware of our future lives, that will power this mind that strives to achieve the causes that lead to happiness, and the mind that strives to avoid the causes that lead to suffering. If we only have the wish for happiness and the wish to be freed of suffering, but we lack the awareness of our future lives, then we'll very easily engage in activities just for short-term benefit. We will deceive others, take advantage of others, because we will see, I will get this benefit. But we're not thinking about our future lives. And this mistaken way of thinking that comes from not being aware of our future lives, or having an awareness of our future lives, is what leads to so many of the problems in our world, whether it's conflict in the home, or between communities, or between nations. It's just thinking about short-term benefit for oneself, not having a broader perspective. Whereas if one develops a powerful wish, this mind that wishes for happiness, and as well as the mind that wishes to be freed of suffering, combining it with a strong awareness of the stream of continuity of future lives that lay before us, this will lead to a great strength of mind that will lead us to keep a mind of ethics ever present and act under it, a mind of generosity ever present, as well as patience and joyous perseverance, and thereby create many causes, powerful causes, that will lead to benefit for ourselves as well as for others, that will lead to benefit in this very life as well as our future lives. So therefore, in brief, in this topic here, we're talking about objects and we're talking about awarenesses. So the stronger the awareness is to achieve this virtuous object, the stronger the awareness is to avoid a particular object, say suffering, the greater these virtuous minds will grow within us. And similarly, we'll understand which awarenesses, which minds need to be abandoned, which cause harm. So this is how we can utilize this topic in a very relevant way.
Mobochi Narazugi, Mosu Tondo Yagidi, Mosumi Nayo said. Tatobe Nayo said, the down Lustin, the Sosurangi, Kambanalia, and that they are do some daddy, Kambanala, Kardu, Sachik, Sosugi, Samlia, Chik, Kambati Pa, Shardia Jorwa, Shaya Jorwa, Sosu do stadium, Sosu Kambana, Chalati, said, May Kambat, go Denisio, Topale, Nadio, and the Nigga Nadi. Tope na yu sa cha gore chisan ding sebu jang mi gi thoma na sin chi sebu thong thwa min do chisan di takwa de so de tope na yu chin de di ma je ming shan da chi le dwen ji smi ta go ro dwen ji smi ta go chisan de tope na yu se di de ne chi le ma je topa se tu sam da de kap le ya so su gi khang ba je de ne yore de ne chi yore smi de ne ge ya topa le na de na cha chi ro wa le chi le tope na yu si go ro.
So through what's just been said, I hope you have a little bit more of an appreciation for the importance of this topic. So let's now return more explicitly to the text. So we're talking about objects and object possessors. And we've heard that an object is that which is known by an awareness. So let's recap a little bit of what has been said, and I'll bring in just one new term. So whatever is a functioning thing, or a synonym for something that performs a function, is something that's impermanent. So impermanent phenomena, functioning thing, these are the appearing objects to direct perception. So this we heard earlier. Impermanent phenomena or functioning things are the appearing objects for direct perception. Now, we all sitting here, and if I ask you to think about your home, now you can think about your home very clearly. Just saying it immediately, you recall your home and what it looks like. Maybe you'll see the front door, or maybe you'll be inside and seeing a particular room. So there's some kind of appearance to your mind. So when I say, think about your home, there's an appearance to your mind. That is an appearing object. So there's an object that appears, it's an appearing object, and that particular mind is a conceptual consciousness. It's not a direct perception, it's a conceptual consciousness. So when I say, think about your home, you're not directly perceiving your home, so it's a conceptual consciousness. The appearing object is whatever way you are now thinking of your home. That object, so we heard earlier, the object for the appearing object of a conceptual consciousness is permanent. So you are not, when I say think of your home, seeing your home directly. Rather, you have a mental image, or the term we're using here, a generic image of your home And that is the appearing object. So when you think of your home, that object that appears to your mind is the appearing object. It's not your home, but it is a generic image of your home. That generic image is the appearing object of this consciousness, which is a conceptual consciousness, and this generic image is permanent. And the difference, amongst the differences between now this conceptual consciousness recalling your home and a direct perception, is the conceptual consciousness isn't clear like a direct perception is. Rather, one comes to the object, one's home, by means of a generic image. And that generic image is permanent, it's appearing object, and it's appearing object of the conceptual consciousness.
They said Dandala Yu da Yujin said Yu said Karla Orsene, Dandala Lui Pa Hawaii Doyaki Shitila Yu Sachi, Denishila Korea Sachi Chiche. Yujin said Ko Lodipa Yudike Tontu Hen, Hako Hendela, and the Yujin said Chagor, the Yuda Yujin said Chiroda. You said, Snada Dene Dini Anzuki Diringi Chedigi, Dini Pa Yawa Chedche. Na Dini Yawa Chesavicella, Ta you said Lola Dubamato, Lodi Matona, Koya Medigan, says a Lola Dune Truptiamato, Lola Matoba Korongone, you said it, Zawgi Mebaresha Savage. You said it. You said it, Lola Pa Dunamato, Lola Matoba. Korongmani Truptivachi Mindu, sometimes Rivada, Carsene, Logic ho Tongoro, Matona, Yudi Meva Yomarwa, you said Logic Tongje, Logic how Goegi, she did Yulegorwa. Just a Logica Hamogona, you said Yomerwa, just you said Logila Dune, Lo Hagohan, Della Dune, Co Yavasa Chatugore, Dimena, Hakon Lodilla Matuna, Shatu Mere, Jesa, Gala Matu Bigi, Lola Matu Big, Korongoni Truptikin. You said it's all in your marriage, some Tajim. Then Dinashi, Eugene said, you lost idea, Yuji, how go on, how go on, the Lola Gore. She's not how go you the mena, Lodi, how go you the mena, how go on the Mavare. She's not lost idea, you'll chilla, Dune, younger mother, you'll Matiopa, lost the Korong when you do lost your marriage. She's not dealing sometimes the girls was, you said, Luiga Hawaii, she de la Yule Coreche. A Lola do you Hagogan de la Law said it, Casor, Eugene said it, the Dinigada, Chicilla Tunia, Trutiomoto, Chicilla Mato, Rangon Tuba said, Mavare, Sachi. Indeed, didn't get down to get Zairoji de Diria. Tis not that Daniel edition, Sunshine to that.
So in this topic of awareness and knowers, as you've already seen in our very first class, there's a lot of new terminology, and that can make this topic challenging over the period that one is becoming familiar with this terminology. So therefore, let's summarize a little bit of what we've looked at tonight, just to try and reinforce this terminology that is new for many of you. So we're looking at objects and object possessors. So an object is that which is known by an awareness. And what is an object possessor then? That which knows an object. So that which possesses its object is the object possessor. And that's one thing we've looked at tonight. What is meant by objects, we've started to look at that, and we've referred briefly to object possessors, but that we'll come to in much more detail. So an object is something that is known by an awareness. There is no object that is not known by an awareness, otherwise it couldn't exist. It has to be, we see in the definition, an object has to be known by an awareness to exist. Which means objects are dependent arisings, they are dependent on awareness. Likewise, awareness or object possessor has an object. There's no awareness or object possessor that doesn't possess an object. There's no awareness that doesn't have an object. So therefore, awareness is also a dependent arising. It's dependent on having an object. So we've looked tonight at this relationship of dependency, of mutual dependency between object and object possessor, or object and its knowing awareness, or the awareness that knows the object. So we've looked at tonight and briefly, when we've had an introductory look at objects and object possessors and their relationship, their interdependence.
Dina Shida Deniza, Tangazuki, Loma, you work a retona, usually Tony Lori Gingura, the Lochikigore, you the Matona, and the Lochikigo Marwa, Lo said, and Azuki Lochikivala, Yushi Tongo, Benazo, Condos Lava in a Yushi Tongo, Jigan, Yaji Jachiko, Yanas Yushi Tong, Yugi Nisu Shandaji, some Danje, Konlan, Madisan Matan, Konake, Marwa. Let Nazuki, Gawaro Kivene, Shandaji, Tonji, Nisu, Shandaji, Dene, Tonjin, Yu Tonjin, Della Gawaki or Wachesa, Mazula Gawaki, Nada, Dino Konroki, and Magiba China, Kaji Yudu Go, Yuji Tone, Lodiki, which is not Lodiki, to use the tonic, which is not the Nigi, you do Tonga Lotte, you said, the ring out to share that initiated, the Guadamone Jidan, Geshe Sawara, going the Aji Tabura Chagua, the Anyodora Chai, then the sign in the Aji called Ma Jamchi, say, Rua.
What I would like you to take away from this class is to have the this understanding that I've just mentioned in the summary, that every mind, every awareness has an object. Every object has an awareness. So we know our minds are rather busy. We always have minds, and they always have objects. Every mind has an object. For example, if we're angry, there's an object. So angry is an awareness, and it's angry with an object. There is an object that anger, there's an object for that mind, for that awareness. So usually we may be angry with someone, and that someone will be the object, and therefore our mind comes about independence on that object. Likewise, if we're in love with someone. So the mind of being in love, this is a mind, an object possessor. It possesses an object, and that's the person that we are in love with. So have a look at what's going on inside, and see this relationship between every mind has an object, every object has a mind. This relationship of dependency between the two. So I appreciate that what you've heard tonight has been new, has been quite different, especially the terminology. So I hope it's not too boring. And but if one perseveres, it becomes much clearer. What one needs to overcome is the new terminology and become clearer with what that terminology means, and then the text becomes much simpler.
And that didn't answer the some dash do so some only some digit course on indeed that the Lord said, and you did something. The next thing sometimes you share what the Lord is some chicken or the you did the how and the did some Lord the only the Lord did something. The next some dialogue.
When you're walking around later, or you're doing your meditation, keep this in mind, that I have a thought right now, as you're listening here or throughout your activities, many thoughts. A thought is a mind, and it has an object. And observe that, become aware of that process. So unusually we finished a little early tonight, so we have plenty of time for questions. If you have some questions, then please do feel free to ask. Gyato.
Just this table at the bottom of page 1, you introduce another type of object, the observed object. I presume that's a new field?
Yes.
What's the difference between observed object and engaged object?
Okay. Sure, and for both direct perception and conceptual consciousness.
In both.
Yep. Yeah, okay. So the questions in the charts at the bottom of the page, there's the term observed object, which isn't on this page at all. It comes a couple of pages later. So what is the difference between an observed object and an engaged object? Jugyo dang migyo de kyepa karere. Ngonsum dang tokme, tokpa netang nika. Jugyo?
Jugyo da kasa migyo se. Re jugyo se de korong yugi zore dile dan bene
kono jugyo se pempe.
Jugyo se ra korong yugi zore gari zingye na di zinye yudile jugyo se ra zinde yudile jugyo che. Da migyo labde korong le nando yudile migyo se ra. Chida bene nga jugi chike medo jil tawaina migi shebati medo da tawaina medo di migi shebati zingyorwa chida medo khora migi shebati zinda juyulare medo di migi sheba nangore nayore nigare juyu da na nigare medo di migi shebati la nayore juyore niga chadere koro zimbi chene delia yudi zimbi chene juyu se migtagor koro migi shebala nawe chene ko nayu se migtagor migi se migtagor
Nangyo dan migyo? Okay, so generally there's not much difference, but let's look at it like this. So we can say the engaged object is what one apprehends. The object one apprehends, we can call the engaged object, or we see the synonym here, the object or the mode of apprehension. Then the observed object, we could say, is what appears to the mind. What appears to the mind. The observed object, we can say, is what appears to the mind. Appears to the mind. So now that's talking in general, but let's take a flower that is seen by an eye sense consciousness. So here, the flower is the appearing object, it's the engaged object, it's the observed object. It's all three. So in the illustration of an eye sense consciousness, engaging or seeing a flower, then all three, appearing object, engaged object, observed object, are the flower. But we can say though that generally the engaged object is what one apprehends and the observed object is what appears to the mind. Okay?
Okay, so just I think this is the same question. It is, what is the difference between the appearing object and the engaged object?
Yeah, that's the same question. Same question.
So I still don't...
Sure.
I'm not getting it.
No problem. Kati dang chikpare. And Nangyo? The Nangyo dang... So the appearing and the engaged, did you say? No, different question. Appearing and engaged object. Yeah? Nangyo dan chukyu, de ni kyepa karere. Nangyo dan chukyu.
Da mene da denga do ngosum gi de la nangyo se da ne enga juge gajele nangyo labdi lo del ya nang du gengi yu de la nangyo se ro ju yu se koron lo digi da roba chi de zimbi ge zimdi ge yu di zinyu ju yu se ro 제가 데니 인자다 대지 먼저 게 매도 통이 원숨 디기라 셰바 있나 매도디 그런 거 매도 통이 원숨 디기 나유 그런 능거로 나와 차네 그런 나유스 당 원숨 디기 매도 진비 차네 매도도 그 주유리 해야지 나유 주유 셰바래 나야 지금 똑바로 자요도 야디 냥도 켜봐주고 똑바로 전에 가르치고 그러서네 다 먼저 매도 진비 똑같이 매도 똑같이 열어 똑바디기 매도 진바제 매도디 그 똑바디기 주유래 다 매도도 똑바들라 그 매도 도부지 나야 지어다 똑바 나이 차 나차 된지 세지 열어와대 니 된지디 매도기 된지디 안에 똑바다 나되게 된지디 똑바디 나유래 주유 말이다 똑바디 나유다 똑바니 주유니라 차바여래 코니 가와래 다 원숨라 미기 원숨라 나유다 주유니에 가와 말이 이게 이게 요래
So to understand the objects, we then look at the different awarenesses. Yeah? So we look at direct perception and conceptual consciousness. The object will be a flower. So for a direct perception, direct perception of a flower, then the appearing object is just the flower, the engaged object is the flower. Objects is for both types of objects, the object is the same, a flower. What is different though with this direct perception is the way the mind relates to it. So we could say the object that appears to a direct perception is a flower, and that's an appearing object to that direct perception. That direct perception that engages with the flower, then that is the engaged object. So the object is the same, flower, but in one case the direct perception engages with it, or apprehends it, grasps at it, and the other one appears. So we can see the difference more from the subject side. For the object side, it stays the same, a flower. Okay. So that's for direct perception. Then conceptual consciousness, there's a clear difference between them. So for conceptual consciousness, or a synonym is thought. So that's quite clear. If it's a conceptual consciousness, a thought, so you're not seeing the flower. So here you're calling a flower. So there, when the conceptual consciousness engages with the actual flower, that's the engaged object. The appearing object, what appears to the conceptual consciousness, is a generic image of the flower. So the generic image of the flower is the appearing object for conceptual consciousness, whereas the actual flower is the engaged object for conceptual consciousness.
So what I'm not understanding is, why is a generic image or object considered to be permanent? I mean, clock, table, chair, appearing. I thought that a clock and a table and a chair were just dependent arising.
Sure.
I don't understand this concept of permanence related to a generic object.
Good. So why is a generic image permanent?
Generic image.
Yeah, generic image, mental image, Don't you? 딱바래. 가래잖아. 가래잖아.
가래려면 로리야 똑발이야 지게 가서로 똑발은 나와지 나와야 채시 나와시마도 그런 게 괜히 하나도 두스다 something 베네 강바로 som다는 아주 강바로 some 로리야 빛이 나한테 나야지도 디 딱바래 돼요. 그래서 그 가봉원에 말해 돼. 가봉원에 말해 돼. 두스네 디 강바든 중앙들이 똑발이 나 샤르디게 나디게 줘봐대. 되네 나세 딱바래 돼. 대디 그 규단建了 되네 가 주요 말이와. 진짜 그 딱바래 돼. 지 똑발지 난 거로 저 나와 나신지 난 거래. 또 강바 나신지 난 거래. 디 나와디 규단 建了 되네 주교스 가에 말해. 진짜 그 딱바래지 거.
So a generic image is what appears to conceptual consciousness. So let's say you're thinking of your home. So you were calling this image of your home, which isn't dependent on causes and conditions. It's just the thought that we're calling.
It's a mental fabrication.
Possibly so. Yeah, but it's permanent. It doesn't change momentarily. That the image of your home doesn't change momentarily. Not your home itself, but the image of your home.
그냥 강바를 마수니엘네 직 강바 수요가 섬도는 다도 진 수요가 강바나 로야 차상지 똑방라 된지 차상 줍서 강바디 강바 마수니엘네 제 강바디네 수요기에서 되네 수은지 치료자 라포 되네 여바다 디가 되네 수요기에서 베트 삼다 저로 삼다도 삼노나래 강비에 소자도 차상을 봐셔야 살이다 샤차네 아니 신의 강비에 나올 똑벌이야 샤도가 나신지 수요로 제 제상 강보 루요마디네 강비기 되니게 똑벌은 나위 강비 나와지 줍디어 니 나와디 또 된지 세월 되는 시래. 지난 뒤서 딱와래서 그 강보신의 주기로와.
So I'm sure some of you here have had your own homes built, or maybe even some of you work as architects. So at the time of the home being just a mere drawing, so the ground hasn't even been broken, you will be probably quite excited about your lovely new home, and you'll have an image. You'll have a picture. You'll picture what is to be built, what will be your home. Nothing's there. So that is an image that you have created. And that is a permanent image. It's not something that, it's not an impermanent phenomenon. George?
So if I compare that, what you just said, to the hairs of a rabbit, what's the difference then?
The horns of a rabbit?
Oh, not horns of a rabbit, I mean, yeah.
So the generic image being permanent, and the horns of a rabbit?
Well, that image of the horn was a mental object.
Yes.
Which has not been built yet.
Yes.
The horns of a rabbit is also a mental object.
Yes. Okay.
What's the difference?
Okay. Then ribon gira de dönchire semgi yul chikre. Then dönchire. Then masoiki nang de yang dönchire. Then kyopa karere.
Ribon rasne dönji mar ho yo marwa. Manzo le lo le da denichi shado gore. Di gane shagore labna 다른 분의 때도 간에 샤워선 다른 분들 리모트 메뉴 되게 되게블 그 암전이도 전종종하지 되게 그러다 지금 미지기 통한 많이 리모트가 라지 계셔 선거를 거다 이내 그 리모트가 라세도 요 말에 그런 게 나와 똑발이야 리모트 거래 라디오 기로시 똑발 는 거래 그 간나 간스 나와를 암저들 추소하고 미디 암저들 암저 통하지 미디를 라디오부지 통 라디오로 통하고 통하지는 될 추이지네 된 똑바들이야 리본게 라디오데 나서래 나서 디 나와도 똑 딱바래서 리본게 라디오 그런 요 말와
디고서 기능 에단타 디 데페카블라 예 셈라 리본게라 서투브게레
똑바라 리본게 당한서 길라 리본게 라세지 샤기 있나면 나다티 암저 고월에 때네 리본게 라세 똑바치 나와지 리그로와
So the example of the horns of a rabbit refers to when you in the distance you see a little animal, that's a rabbit, and there are these big ears, but you don't really know what a rabbit is. So you think, oh, that's those are horns on that rabbit's head. So then your eyes are mistaken. You think you're seeing a rabbit with horns. But you're not, because this doesn't exist. So the horns of a rabbit is a non-existent, but you think you're seeing this, but you're mistaken. And this then is a non-existent. So that's different.
What about an idea of an inventor?
Mm-hmm.
He has a mental image, but the image does not exist yet. Obviously there is no rabbit with horns, so it's a non-existent. But
a completely new phenomenon.
Still a non-existent yet, but it might become existent if it's invented.
Okay. So what about something that an inventor is creating that is currently a non-existent but will become an existent? Dene michi kong karichala sapa sakyang chik suiki samsul yore. Zamani tokla de yomare sapa sakyang suikire. Dene di ribunkira nangshine kaze Nika zamnin tokla yomare.
Di lolle shaade denjidi. Di jala sala saja zugin sampe samsade ribon ranaji reda de yomarwa. Chiwa ribon naji yomare. Ina lolle ya di jala di sala saja zugin sampe lolle ya ku jala deni zugin sobda chasaji shal lolle ya ji shal gorwa. Deni ki tokpale na de di denjiri eso takpare eso. Deni ki jala ngone di ruyo marwa de.
Kosong, yini di me pare pe, yamani yo pare.
Da jala ngoni de yo maro, me maro. Ribon na na shi re. Ine ribon radi maung ba de juni jung ni si ba jwa. Da de jala sawa sa kyan se de maung ba de jung si ba shi re da.
Kosong, teni ribon ki ra samna, teni dönchi su tub kere mare pe.
말해.
Okay, then it is.
된지들이 세다데. 다들 잘라 사바 사장 쇼호선 배 삼로 쇼로와. 삼로 나래야 잘라 사바 사장이 되는 쇼를 잘라 차상 줍대요. 똑바들 난거래. 된나와디 된지리 딱바래지. 잘라 원에디 요마 줍요 말와. 일본 라나시를 요 말에. 지바래. 일본 라디오디 요 말티네 똑발이야 라디오 로지 일본 거 라디오 두선배 나와지 리고 나와리고. 딩이디 지바래 거기. 이는 캐버라 가려요스네 잘라 사바 속에 죽은 세비 된지 샤와나시 마오반의 잘라 디로지 쇠시바래. 이네 일본 라나신 똑발라 샤와나시 일본 거라 라기에디 마오반의 용미시바지. 딩이 캐버디래.
So when the inventor is creating their new invention in their mind at the planning stage, they're forming a mental image, a generic image. So that generic image is permanent, and that generic image exists, but the object does not exist in the world. The object is a non-existent. The generic image, they've created this in their mind, so that's there. The difference, though, with the horns of a rabbit is that in the future there may well be this new invention. The horns of the rabbit are yet to grow, so that's not going to ever exist. So the difference is more to do with the object, whether it exists in the world or ever will, but in terms of the mental image of this non-existence, there it's the same, because they're both mental images. Okay? It becomes clearer, I'm sure. I have confidence.